Welcome back to the Crocker Science Center Laboratory informational video series. Today we are going to be talking about the proper use of laboratory balances. Balances are a fundamental piece of laboratory equipment, and so it is important to know how to use one properly. Today we are looking at two different types of balances, a top-loading balance and an analytical balance. Here you can see a top-loading balance on the left side of your screen and an analytical balance on the right. It is likely that you will have at least one of each type of these balances in your laboratory. Which one you will use will vary depending on the amount of substance you are weighing out, as well as the degree of precision you wish to have in your measurements. Top-loading balances often have a higher weight capacity and can therefore be used to weigh out larger amounts of substances. On this balance, you can see that the maximum weight that can be measured is 2,200 grams. This information is always shown on the balance to help you decide if that piece of equipment will meet your needs for a specific measurement. If we compare the top-loading balance to now our analytical balance, we see that this analytical balance has a maximum weight capacity of 120 grams. The maximum weight that this balance can handle is lower than for the top-loading balance, but it also has a much higher degree of precision, making measurements out to 4 decimal places. Therefore, if you need to make measurements of smaller amounts of substances and/or you need a higher degree of precision, the analytical balance will often be your equipment of choice. You'll also notice that the analytical balance has an enclosed weighing surface. Because of the high degree of precision of analytical balances, even small variations in the environment can lead to errors in weighing. The enclosed balance surface helps prevent air currents from affecting your measurements. Keep in mind that even oils from your skin can affect the measurements made with an analytical balance. When you're ready to use a balance to make a measurement, you'll first want to make sure the balance is level. This can be done by simply looking at the level gauge on the main face of the balance console. The bubble should be in the middle of the gauge when the balance is properly leveled. If the balance is level, you can go ahead and make your measurements. If it is not, you'll need to first level the balance. This can be done by adjusting the heights of the balance legs. Make adjustments by rotating the balance legs until the bubble in the level gauge is centered. If you need help, be sure to ask your TA or instructor. Once you have ensured that the balance is completely level, you're ready to make your measurements. The tare button will zero out your balance. If you're working with an analytical balance, you want to make sure all doors are closed before pressing the tare button. Wait for the balance to display all zeros. Then you can weigh your object or substance by placing it on the balance, closing any doors, and waiting for the balance to display to stabilize before recording the measured weight. There are a number of variations of how a balance can be used. Let's discuss a couple of these. By placing a container on the balance before pressing the tare button, you zero out the weight of that container. For instance, this weigh boat. Now I press tare, and it zeroes out that weight. This allows you to add material to that container and obtain only the weight of the added material. Please notice that the tare button should not be pressed after its initial usage, since that will reset the balance's 0 point. After you've added material to your container, close any doors and wait for the readout to stabilize. Continue adding material in this way until you reach your desired amount. Another way that you might use your balance is to start by weighing a container with material in it. Zero the balance, and then obtain the weight of the container and material. Then you can add some of the material to another vessel, say a reaction mixture. When you reweigh the original container and the remaining material, you can figure out how much material was added to your reaction mixture by subtraction from the initial mass you recorded earlier. When you are finished using the balance, ensure that you leave the balance and the areas surrounding it clean for the next person. A small brush is usually kept around the balance areas to help with cleanup. Close any doors and dispose of any spilled material properly. As always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to talk to your TA or instructor.